Dear friends in Christ Jesus, in just a few days it will be Thanksgiving Day, and it will usher in a whole season for a number of weeks where we are more acutely conscious of all of the blessings in our lives. So I greet you in that spirit and with that tone, and in the hope that they will be good days for you to recognize the blessings in your life, to love on your family, to love on your community, and to love on your world, because you have been the recipient of so much of God's goodness and of blessings that are both tangible and intangible. Anne Lamott is one of my favorite authors, and in 2012, she put out a book with this wonderful title called Help, Thanks, Wow, subtitled Three Essential Prayers. And Anne Lamott suggests in that book, particularly in the chapter on thanks, or I would say on gratitude, that gratitude begins in our hearts and then it dovetails into our behaviors. That's a remarkable quote. It may seem obvious at the outset, but it really does work like that. Gratitude comes from the inside out, and then it takes over our lives, and our lives find expression for ways in which to give back in response to all that we've been given in life, in love, in relationships, in meaning, and even in material possessions. So I thank God for authors who help us think like that. But more than that, we in the Christian tradition have a whole biblical heritage in which we are enjoined in the scriptures to be people of gratitude, to remember from where our blessings come, God being the source. The Psalms are replete with examples of thanking God for God's goodness, God's grace, God's mercy, God's protection, God's intervention. I marvel also at the letters of the New Testament, and particularly those of the Apostle Paul, which always begin in his apostolic greetings with offering some word of thanks to God for the mission and ministry of the church of which he's a part, but always a word of thanks for the people. So as I come to this Thanksgiving season, one of the things that I'm most grateful for is the privilege that we have of working together. And I join the Apostle Paul in saying, I give God thanks for you all. I thank God every day for you, your partnership in the gospel, and the opportunities and the challenges that we are choosing to meet together as we engage the mission of making disciples of Jesus Christ for the transformation of the world. But secondly, in real time, I'm grateful for the examples in my life of people who live lives of gratitude. So when I am an ingrate or come across as ungrateful for all that I've been blessed with, I'm reminded because of the good people in my life, and you are among them, of how to live my life differently. When I lose the connection between the gratitude that's really in my heart, but it's not dovetailing in my attitude, in my speech, in my behavior, and in my relationships, I see people like you who are reminding me how to live and express a life of gratitude for all that I have received along with you in community. I have a friend, and sometimes I just listen to him, and his response to almost everything when you say, how are things going? Before he gets into any detail, he begins by saying, oh, we're just grateful. The we being, he's referring to him and his wife. Every conversation I have with this friend and with this colleague pours forth with tones and words and attitude that deeply express his and his spouse and his family's gratefulness for the sheer gift of life. So when I lose sight of all of the gifts that I've received, not the least of which are life and the salvation that we have through Jesus Christ, I'm reminded of other people and by other people who are living every moment, it seems to me, a life of gratitude, and they are expressing it with transparency, vulnerability, and with sincerity. So during these days of Thanksgiving that will lead us into Advent and subsequently into Christmas, where we will have the greatest cause for rejoicing and cry out together, thanks be to God for God's unspeakable gift through Jesus Christ, I join you in becoming more and more each and every day a person whose life is exuding gratitude. I hope for you a great Thanksgiving, a wonderful start to Advent. God bless you.